Let's talk about fats. You know, lipids. Some of them get a really bad rap, right? While others, they're hailed as superfoods. So what's the deal? What are they, really? Well, today we're going to unpack them. These super important, kind of complex, and often really misunderstood molecules that literally fuel and build our bodies. Let's dive in and see what's actually going on inside. I mean, you've heard it a million times, right? Eat the good fats, avoid the bad fats. Pick the avocado, skip the butter. But why? What does that actually mean? What's the real difference that makes one fat good and another bad once they're inside you? It's a little confusing for sure. So let's clear that up. You know, to really get a handle on this, we've got to follow the whole journey. I mean, from the moment you take a bite, we're going to see how these fats get packaged up, shipped out, and put to work. It's this incredible kind of mind-blowing logistics operation that's happening inside you, like right now. Okay, so first things first. Before we can follow that journey, we need to know exactly what we're tracking. So let's start with the basics. What even is a lipid? So at their core, all lipids share one really important trait. They're hydrophobic. Now, that's just a fancy science word for saying they hate water. They just don't mix, kind of like the oil and vinegar in your salad dressing, right? And that one simple property, it's the key to absolutely everything that follows. And yeah, they have a ton of jobs, but their most famous one, energy storage. We're talking more than twice the energy punch of carbs, gram for gram. They're super efficient fuel. Okay, so if you think of lipids as the buildings, then fatty acids are the bricks. Makes sense, right? These long chains are the basic building blocks that decide what kind of fat we're dealing with and what it's going to do in the body. And boom, right away we hit the first big split in the road. You've heard these terms a million times, saturated and unsaturated. The chemical difference is actually tiny, but its effect is massive. Saturated fats, they're built with a straight, rigid structure, but unsaturated fats have this little bend, or a kink in their chain. And believe it or not, that one tiny bend is the whole reason butter is solid on your counter and olive oil is a liquid. Crazy, right? And this is a great way to picture it. Look at that. The saturated fats are like these perfect, straight Lego bricks. They can stack up really neatly and tightly, which is why they form a solid. But that kink in the unsaturated fats, it totally messes up the stacking. It keeps them from packing together so they stay all jumbled and fluid. This one simple difference in shape is literally the key to everything else we're about to talk about. All right, so let's think about this for a second. We've got these fats that, as we said, hate water. But what's our bloodstream made of? Mostly water. So we have a huge transportation problem, right? How in the world does your body get these critical molecules where they need to go without just creating like a big old oil slick in your veins? Well, the body's solution is absolutely ingenious. It's these things called lipoproteins. And the best way to think of them is as little delivery trucks. They're designed to wrap up all the fatty cargo, the lipids, on the inside, nice and protected, while the outside of the truck is totally water-friendly. This lets them cruise right through the bloodstream with no problem at all. So clever. Now, in this delivery fleet, there are a few main players. You've got VLDL. Its main job is hauling triglycerides around for energy. But the two you've definitely heard of, the real stars of the show, are LDL and HDL. Think of LDL as the delivery truck that drops off cholesterol to all the cells, and HDL as the recycling truck that handles the return trip, picking up any extra that's lying around. And this is where we get to the heart of it all, the whole good versus bad cholesterol thing. But here's a spoiler. There's actually no such thing as good or bad cholesterol. The cholesterol molecule itself is always the same. The reputation, the good guy or the bad guy label, it all comes down to the delivery truck, the lipoprotein that's carrying it. So let's meet these two famous characters. All right, let's start with the bad guy. Here's a super easy way to remember it, even if it's a little dramatic. L is for lethal. LDL, which stands for low-density lipoprotein, can cause some serious problems when its numbers get too high. Now, don't get me wrong, LDL has a super important job. Its whole mission is to deliver cholesterol that your cells absolutely need for things like building their walls and making hormones. The problem isn't the delivery itself, it's having too many delivery trucks on the road. When you have an oversupply of LDL, they can end up dropping off way too much cargo. This excess cholesterol can get dumped into the walls of your arteries, and that's what starts that dangerous buildup of plaque we call atherosclerosis. But then we have the hero of our story, HDL. And just like with LDL, we've got an easy way to remember this one. H is for healthy. HDL, or high-density lipoprotein, has the complete opposite reputation, and for a very, very good reason. HDL basically acts as the body's cleanup crew. You can think of these particles as the recycling trucks of your bloodstream. They cruise around, and they don't just pick up stray cholesterol from your tissues. Get this, they can actually pull it out of those dangerous plaques that have started to build up. Then they haul it all back to the liver, where it gets processed and removed from your body. Pretty heroic, right? So when you go to the doctor and get your blood work done, this is what they're looking at. Now, the ratio of your LDL to HDL is really important, but a good general target for your total cholesterol is to be under 200 milligrams per deciliter. It's just one of the most critical numbers for understanding your overall heart health.
Okay, so we spent a lot of time on the whole delivery drama, the good guys and the bad guys. But that's not the whole story. Not even close. Just demonizing fat across the board is a massive mistake, because lipids are actually some of the biggest unsung heroes in our bodies, doing tons of jobs that go way beyond just energy.
I mean, just think about this. The wall of every single one of your cells, it's made of lipids. They're the starting point for crucial hormones like testosterone and estrogen. They insulate your nerves so your brain can send signals properly. They cushion your organs to protect them from bumps and shocks. Oh, and you can't even absorb vitamins A, D, E, or K without them. I mean, from our brains to our skin, we are literally built from fat. It's amazing. So really, this is the main takeaway. The whole story of fat isn't some simple tale of good versus evil. It's way more nuanced than that. It's this incredibly elegant system of different molecules, different delivery trucks, and each one has a specific job to do. The goal isn't to just avoid fat altogether. It's all about understanding the balance, making sure you've got enough of the good stuff to do all those critical jobs without letting the other stuff get out of hand. So the next time you sit down to eat and you look at your plate, think about this whole journey. You're not just looking at calories or food. You're looking at the actual building blocks for your cells, the fuel for your body, and the parts for all those little delivery trucks in your bloodstream. So, knowing what you know now, how are you going to look at that meal?